What's the most expensive thing you have in here? And then I always think, that's what a burglar would say. If I was gonna come in here and rob you, what would I get?
Does he need to go get his photo taken first?
You can do it whenever he's ready.
We do need an action thing.
He has one. You haven't seen it.
Where is it?
Bring it out at first so everybody gets excited, but it's useless. So
It's really cool though. Well, I'm a newbie, so I need to have it at least once.
We're going to Toy Federation. What do you know about Toy Federation?
I went to their RetroCon, and that was my first experience at a toy convention. They're a huge channel, a lot of toys. They have a Vectrex there.
They do. They do.
Got my eye on that.
What's your plan there today?
Ooh, crash course, because I'm getting a lot of hate from you guys. Yeah. I am not a toy collector, but I am someone that's interested in learning about it. I find it very fascinating. My chemicals in my brain will not allow me to collect things because otherwise I'll be stressed. I shouldn't say the F word. I will be bleeping stressed.
Yeah, don't say
I will not say that word. Beep. Yeah, I would be really, really stressed and overwhelmed. But I do like to see people's chaotic but organized collections. I like this. I'd have that if I had my own woman cave basement. So where are we? Tell me that at least.
The one and only Toy Federation.
The one and only. Okay, so I'm getting beat up in the comments because I don't know enough about toys. So I'm getting a crash course today from Ryan.
All right. That'll be tough. It's 20 years. We might have to enroll you in the Toy Federation Academy, and then be Principal Andy over here.
Manager and principal. I'm moving up in the world.
Love Nightmare Before Christmas. Obviously anything Looney Tunes because duh. Smurfs. Scooby-Doo, of course.
I'm still learning, so you'll
never stop.
You'll never.
Are you getting beat up in the comments though?
About my knowledge?
Yeah.
I don't know. I could possibly. Who knows?
I'm looking at the lunch boxes.
Because it's hard to learn everything all at once. Mm-hmm. But if you focused on something and got a general understanding, but there's so many nuances, I guess. But let's just say you love Transformers or you love Ninja Turtles.
Okay. I do know Ninja Turtles well.
So then you would kind of focus on that and then learn as much as you can about the line. But then, but see, I'm weird. So like if you were to go into my bathroom, there's toy books. But there's always been toy books in there. Everything. So it's like
so not the Playboy, it's toy books.
No. I don't know.
Sears catalog.
Wife wouldn't allow that. That would not be a smart thing. Sears catalogs, Montgomery Ward, J.C. Penney. I like World War II. But so either I'm reading history, like I don't read fiction because I'm not learning anything. Like I always feel like I need to learn. Thank you. And then my fascination is with toys. So then it's so again, it's 30 plus years of, like I never didn't know what weapons went with what Star Wars guys, but I played with them all as a kid.
Speaking of, I saw your showcase.
Right?
Show me.
Showcase Showdown?
Showcase Showdown, I like it.
So Star Wars case?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, we sold a Jabba and we're missing some guys, but keep selling and we got to keep restocking. But so yeah, it's knowing, like who is everybody? Yeah. So then you'd start with, it's like you might know who Vader is, even though I don't have a Vader. But then on a lot of vintage things, they'll 3D print weapons, they'll remold them. There's a lot of reproduction, a lot of fakes. So
how can you tell if one is real?
that's kind of like an experience thing. So it's almost like you have to handle enough of them that you know are valid to then. It's hard to explain. It's like you can feel it. It's weird.
It's in here.
Well, it's like you could have your eyes closed, and if you touch them, you've handled something enough to know. Like I'm sure somebody in a different profession, like say, like I don't know anything about watches or purses or shoes, but if you have a Louis Vuitton bag, let's say, a real one, and then you handle and you know how that feels, or you have Jordans or shoes, and you know how it feels because you've worn them, you've experienced them, you've handled them. So then when you get a fake, it's not right.
Yeah.
Like something isn't, the material is either off, the weight's off. Like I bought a vintage collection of Star Wars 2 days ago. The action figure case was vintage, the figures were vintage, and 90% of the weapons were all fake. But the feeling threw me off. And then they also make a sound. So like if you drop them on the ground or on a counter, the sound it makes isn't right. So that means it's a different material, even though it looks the same.
Look at Danny. Look at Danny DeVito.
So no matter what line, whether it's the Hasbro wrestlers, some of them have accessories, but they'll repro the accessories, or with Transformers or Battle Beasts or G.I. Joe, they're duplicating the items. 3D print stuff's really easy to tell. It's just entirely different material altogether.
That is, a different feel for sure.
And if you leave it in the heat, it's going to melt. And I'm sure there's different varying levels of where they're better.
I think what we should do at some point is blindfold you and hand you a real and a fake, and we really put you to the test.
Yeah.
I think that would be fun.
And it doesn't mean I can't be fooled.
I want to try.
Things get better and better and better. But a lot of times it's just a gut feeling. So I have things in a pile, where the pile is, I don't know, that these are questionable. It's almost like I had still going to call it Wonder Bread, but I had a guy bring in a Wonder Bread today. So today, guy brought in a baggied Chef Boyardee shredder, Wonder Bread He-Man. I know it's savage.
Okay, but so
and a scratch.
I'm
complete.
going from like a 0, blank slate. Like I only really know my childhood, but when you say Wonder Bread, what do you mean by that?
Well, it's a mysterious He-Man figure that kind of has dark hair, which makes him look more like Conan, that I think has now been rebranded Savage He-Man, even though Masters of the Universe Classics line made a figure that looked like him, and they called him Wondar to play on the whole story about Wonder Bread. But it's kind of a holy grail in the He-Man community. You had to mail away for it, and the true origin isn't fully known, even though some people claim to know.
Mysteries.
So I'll still call it that, just like in Star Wars, I'll call Forlom, but he's now Zuckuss.
Show me.
Well, I think we sold one, so I don't have both. So this middle row, far left, next to the robot gray guy.
Okay.
So he's got a little tan coat on. I mailed away for him and got him. But it was an error on Kenner's part, and they named it, they got 2 character names inverted. So the other guy would have been here, which he isn't now because I sold him today. And so now Zuckuss, who's not present, is really Forlom. And that's Zuckuss.
Okay. Huh.
So if you were to buy that figure made today, the names are corrected. But then they even had fun with it and released something after they corrected it to make it wrong again, which I think is over here. So see. So they called him Forlom and they called him Zuckus. And this is Black Series on a retro card. But it was, we know we fixed the names already, but you know what, we're going to do this for you fans and mix it up again. So I'll always call him Forlom because
that's what you started with.
that's what he was for my childhood in print on the package. You mail away for that guy and he was Forlom. But it's been corrected. So yeah, it's just learning and starting one thing at a time, I think.
Okay, well, okay, so for me as hosting, when I go into a toy store or even a toy con, what are the questions that I need to be asking people?
Well, what is your, what's the aim in going to the store? Because then that dictates the questions.
For me, I'm interested in what's going on, like who the collector is, where they get their things, how they got started. For me, that's very interesting. Yeah,
well, so then I mean, yeah, because I don't know your perspective to know. So like if I were visiting a store, well, I guess similar questions I would be interested in, but I'm a business owner. So what got that business owner to do what he does? Like what made you start? Like, how did you like acquire the things you had?
Okay, well, for you, how did you acquire? Where did you start? What were you doing before toys?
So before I did this full time, just the one thing that led, that was immediately before this, or all the things I did?
I mean,
because I've had a lot of jobs. I mean, I worked at Publix, bagging groceries.
Yeah?
And I didn't take the pay raise to stock the aisles because it was a 10-cent pay raise. Because I'm old, so they didn't give you a lot more money. But I was making more money in tips, which Publix doesn't advertise tips.
They have tips?
Yeah, you
for
should be
walking
tipping
people to the car?
Yeah, you should tip.
I don't ask for help.
It's not, well, yeah, now they don't because then nobody wants to tip, even though it's not public. But I had a manager who if he caught you tipping, he'd take the tip money.
That's rude.
But I was making $5, $6 an hour in tips back in the 80s. Old ladies, and they put it in your pocket.
Oh, that's good tippage.
Right? Yeah. So I was making $8, $9 an hour then. Because I think it was $2.39 an hour.
Okay, so.
Then I worked at a gas station. Then I was a cook. Worked at a gun range. Sporting clays, people shooting the targets. You go pull, and then the targets launch.
Are you interested in guns?
I like guns.
He likes
I don't
guns.
have a lot, but you know, gotta protect yourself, right?
It's true.
But I did sales prior to. So I sold aircraft and aerospace parts. So I had a sales profession.
Okay.
I sold life insurance.
Okay, I could see sales coming into the business role.
Yeah. You have to be good. Well, if you're not good working with people, then you're never going to go anywhere. At least in a retail environment.
I agree.
Like if you're the grumpy person when somebody comes to visit your shop and you're like, "What do you get out of here? Like you're bothering me." Like I've seen shop owners that are like that. They don't even greet you when you walk in.
I can see that. Yeah. But it seems like you have a community here.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think the cool part is seeing us grow. We used to be across the street in a much smaller store, and then I took the space to the right of that, and then I was going to expand, and then it got to be this headache with engineering permits, and it was going to cost, and it wasn't my building, because I was told I could open a wall, and then it turned into a big deal, and then I couldn't, and then it became filled with storage, and then this opened up, and I was like, oh, well, this is more space. And then the opportunity to buy the building presented itself.
Sales led you to opening up your own business.
Well, I never stopped collecting. There was phases where I couldn't afford to collect, but I didn't lose the desire or the interest to collect. And the knowledge part didn't end. So I was still retaining knowledge, learning about things. But, this is all pre-internet, so.
That's crazy.
You have to have books.
Yeah.
And then the books don't know everything
tangible.
Because there's no known examples of this to exist, the book may say. Yeah. But they'll acknowledge that it could be a thing. But then once the internet opened up and people can communicate, then I have that. It does exist. And then another guy might have it. And then you start learning. So then it's like, oh, it does. I have this old Tomart book. There's this A-Team headquarters play set. No known examples exist. It exists. I've still never seen one in real life, but they do exist. Like people have them.
So
I've
when
never.
eBay came around, were you just like going nuts on there?
Oh, so yeah, I started eBay in '98, and that was when eBay was amazing because it was literally moms emptying kids' closets, and it was just, you know, PayPal first started, and then you got $10 if you signed somebody up, and then they got $10, so you could sell a $20 item, make $30, and that guy got it for 10 because he got $10 when you signed up new people.
Yeah.
So it was fun. But then if you had the knowledge, you had a leg up because, you know, now everybody can look everything up or they can Google image something. But that still doesn't tell you if it's real or fake or like we just bought a collection and the lady priced it. I think there's a divorce involved, so I didn't really get into it. But she had $50 on a G1 Optimus Prime. She priced everything. She valued everything. And she knew where I was going to come in. And it's not so something she had $500 on. This she had $50 on. And she's just finding off the internet. And I was like,
Was she spot on or?
oh, no. She put $50 on Optimus Prime. So I'm going to give you $25 like that. So I was like, the box was rough, but I was like, I put 400 in value on it. So then I did it all the way I always do it. So I did it fairly. And then, I mean, she took the offer. She was happy. But I was like, but yeah, you were just totally off. So I tried to teach her how to. But she's not going to know that there's a bootleg.
Yeah.
But if you type that item up, the first item that's going to come up on eBay is exactly what looks like she has in that exact box with the same description, but it's coming out of China and it's fake because you're not buying a box G1 Optimus Prime for 50. So then how do you learn that without knowing that it's been bootlegged?
Yeah.
But China's the dead giveaway.
I would be giving away things for free, you know.
But then she had $500 on some stuff because there's a guy on eBay asking $500. And I'm like, it's $100. But she doesn't know how to search filtered and sold.
Yeah.
So a lot of it's not super difficult. It's just doing your due diligence on every item. And in a lot of items, I don't know. It's a lot of work, but I'm also a lot older. So if it's like a road you want to learn and you just keep adding over time, and you get a specialty in a thing or two. And
What do you think you know the least about?
Wrestling.
Guy Fieri.
So I got Andy. I don't know. I mean, I could tell you old school characters,
Yeah,
but I didn't grow up watching wrestling.
I totally did. But I mean, I don't remember anybody's name.
Get you guys like a cable show, like Town Star or something.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? Good job, Matt.
You can't know everything, and I don't ever claim to know everything. And then it's important to be humble, I think. Which I don't even know. It's just important to always be true and honest and like if we shook on a deal, that's a deal. Like, so it's maybe old school to have, like I don't need a contract. Like if we agree on something, then it's set. Like we're good and I'm not gonna undo my deal.
Yeah.
Where some people will, I found another guy and he's gonna offer me more now. And it's like, but we shook on it. Like that means something.
It's very trusting.
Oh yeah. But then if you burn me, then we don't have it. Then I know not to trust you.
Yeah, it's true.
But I always treat everybody fair. And then here you go. You have an amazing store and keeps bursting at the seams, and people coming they're from California visiting over here.
California, that's crazy. That's
Right?
awesome though. But from what I've heard, that's like an everyday thing.
Oh yeah, I'd say 3 to 5 people, minimum 3, maximum probably 5 on a daily. We're selling shirts every day.
What about these things?
Funkos?
How do those?
See, that's what you need to get a specialty on. I'm just kidding. No, it's a thing.
Not for you. It's not really
No.
your style.
No, I mean, there's people that probably kill at selling it. It's. I think we've nurtured a specific customer base. and it's more action figure, where this is kind of a figure, but you can't do anything with it except just.
So at this point, this is kind of just decoration that stays.
It slowly sells. I'm down to what's here, and then once it's gone, I'm not replacing it.
Okay.
It will become something else. So it'll allow me to get more action figures out.
Yeah, there was a comment that was like, people should stop selling pops or.
Well, what happened is it drastically took over. So if you went to a Comic-Con or a convention and you were looking for toy vendors, which is what I would do, the majority of the vendors there would be selling this. And so then I was left disappointed because I don't collect this.
Yeah.
And I was like, why are all the toy vendors doing this? So then that's when I created my show to focus on, like, I'm tired of going to shows and there's no good toy vendors. So then I create my own show because it, it filled a gap.
Yeah, this for me wouldn't do it because it looks too modern and it doesn't really
I'm not a
spark
fan
anything of nostalgia for me.
I'm just not a fan of big-headed, super deformed, which I think
I guess I should be because of Bratz dolls from my childhood.
well, so there you go. So that predates
But
Funko.
I'm not with that.
Yeah, I just like something that looks proportional and realistic, even if it's a fictional character.
Yeah.
But it looks like this is just a tiny body with a giant head, and nobody looks like anybody. Like if you get a human face, that's just, it's just a face.
Yeah.
I mean, like this is just a brunette. Like it's just.
Yeah. No, I see it.
So they, and I think that's because then they maybe a likeness thing, because then they don't have to pay. And but I don't knock somebody for what they collect. Collect what you like. Don't collect because you're going to get rich or you're going to make money. Just collect because it makes you happy, and then you'll be a lot better off in life. And instead of, I'm never going to open it and all this. See, I have a habit. I can't stop working.
So you feel like you're not working right now?
Well, no, I have to. As I'm talking, I'm fixing stuff. So it drives me nuts.
I would do that too. Yeah, I think it's like it has a really nice flow in here.
Yeah. Well, this wall's coming down.
All right.
We've only been saying this for about a year.
What do you mean it's coming down?
It's coming down.
Like the wrestlers are coming down, or the entire wall?
This wall.
We're expanding.
Yeah, this wall comes down, and we go 24 more feet that way.
Wow.
So
That's a lot.
there be grid wall. So this wall will be all grid with all packaged stuff all the way down. And then I got more glass cases coming, 9 more glass cases coming.
But you, from what I've heard, in the back have a lot of things that can fill the store.
I do, yeah. So we're going to get more product out.
What about Polly Pockets? Do you have any of this?
I know we have a bin. It just needs to get worked on. So
what, okay, if you get a bin or a huge haul, what do you do first? Are you like throwing things away, or are you just cleaning things up?
So if a big collection comes in and it's various lines, then it all has to get what I call, we triage it,
Yeah.
So then we put everything, separate everything, put all like stuff together. So there could be 12 different lines in a particular collection. And then we put it all where it belongs because we have a home for everything.
Yeah.
And
that
then,
actually sounds like a lot of fun of sorting.
Yeah, well, it is. That to me, that's the most exciting part of what I do is going through raw bins and, this is this is that. Oh, now I can put this out, or this allows me to complete that. It's because we also sell everything complete. So
I do love this, actually. This was one of my favorite episodes of I Love Lucy.
I Love Lucy's great.
This was one of my favorite episodes. And
Vita Vita Vegemin, I like that one.
oh my God, that is oh my God. I was going to say my favorite, but I just said that. But I love it.
Yeah, that's where they're making the wine or whatever, stomping the grapes.
So good.
I like the one in the factory too.
Oh my God, the chocolates.
Yeah, they made that one and it has Ethel. It has the 2 of them in it.
I would love that
with the cardboard
so much.
Yeah.
I love that. How often are things like this selling? This is like a High School Musical. This was not me, or not my.
Yeah,
has this been here for a long time?
No. I think there was 2 more there, and they sold it. Maybe came in a week ago.
Wow. I don't
Yeah.
know. I guess when I'm like in like a retro space, I'm not thinking of High School Musical. I guess-
Yeah, well, this is, our Barbie-ish section.
Yeah.
1/6, 12-inch scale. But I mean, this all sells, so we replenish this nonstop. It just, I might give it a bigger section in the expansion.
Yeah.
But that's another misnomer. Everybody thinks holiday Barbies are worth a lot, and they're not.
Yeah.
So
I remember everybody's like, why would you open that? It'll be so expensive. And I'm like, I wanted to play
the average
with my
price
Barbies.
is $20, but I mean, you could scan. Like this is always a good example. Everybody thinks this is really rare. So what do I have on it?
20.
Okay. So
So where are you scanning? On eBay?
yeah.
Okay.
Well, let's just filter by high to low. And I don't know if you want to look at this.
No way.
Right. So people walk in here and they go, I have this, and they think they hit the lottery.
All right. So then you would go to like sold.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
It's $20. So it's like, I didn't know you were walking in here with this. So I'm not trying to trick you. It's $20. And they're like, no, mine's different. I'm like, it's $20. I mean,
crazy.
it's just, but now if you give us some Monster High dolls or certain things like that, they could be $400, $300.
Why?
I think that's what that generation's a little bit older and they're reliving their childhood. And that was their Barbie.
Interesting.
This is more your mom's Barbie, or your mom or your grandmother bought it for you because she recognizes Barbie and bought it for you every year. And then you end up still having them because you didn't play with them or open them because they're going to be worth something someday. But you played with the other stuff. And so then everybody has holiday Barbies and they bring them in. And which is again, buy what you like, buy. See, they open stuff. This was closed and not out of the. Yeah.
I mean, you have to test out the wand to make sure.
Test out the what?
You have to test out the wand to make sure it's.
See, I don't know anything about Harry Potter. Yeah, let's do it.
Oh my gosh, look at those knockers. They're so big. All right, how do your is that comic books over here? How do those do?
I don't know, are they?
I think so, but I'm scared to say.
Yeah, no, there's comics. Yeah, I mean, I don't sell a lot of comics, but I like to have a little bit of representation because then people tend to bring what they see.
Yeah.
So I don't by far claim in any way to be a comic shop, but I do have some comics. I have some VHS. I'm not a VHS store. But, I've had some cool books walk in because of that. And it's not like there's not comic shops in town, so they know to go there.
Yeah.
But I might have a toy they want. So then usually that's how that ends up happening.
Okay. I did hear that you have a Vectrex that you will not sell to Matt for me to have. What's happening there?
He could buy you one. Just not that one.
All right, show me. Where's it? I want to see it.
The Vectrex?
Yeah, that one. That is something that I really do love.
I just had a buddy when I was a kid who had it.
Oh, it's so fun.
And I wanted one. So yeah, there it is. There's Vectrex.
In all its glory.
It was pretty cool, but I mean, it's kind of what's vector graphics, which is Vectrex, which is pretty limited. It's like Tempest or that Star Wars game, which is you blow up the Death Star.
Yeah, I love
So
that.
they'd have to put the little overlays over top. But I just Asteroids. That's another vector graphics game. But I mean, it's super cool. But yeah, somebody brought this in. This is a while ago. I even think before the video game people were over there. So people ask, what is the most rare item, right?
Uh-huh.
And then first thing, like, what's the most expensive thing you have in here? And then I always think, that's what a burglar would say. It's like, what's the rarest thing in here? But you get asked that a lot. And then I'm always like, it's like if I was going to come in here and rob you, what would I get? So it's always a little weird. But then the default answer is there's not really any crazy. I mean, I have lots of 30, 40, 50. But I mean, I got a flag over there in the box. I got an Eternia. So those are like holy grails.
Graded stuff.
Are
I
you
don't have
into
anything
graded
rare.
stuff?
Do what?
Are you into the graded stuff? I learned about it at.
Yeah, retro. I mean, if you have like, I don't have a lot of packaged stuff, and if you're going to grade something, it needs, I would assume packaged. You can grade loose stuff, but with my loose stuff, I just want to have them all so I could pick them up and touch them, and do pretend battles. No, I'm just kidding.
See if they're real or not.
Oh, right. I know they're real. Right.
Yeah.
But but like if I had like, the first Snake Eyes or Storm Shadow, I'd be so afraid because it's valuable. Like if in Ninja Turtles you have a scratch package, like if you ding that bubble, it's less valuable.
Grading that Cobra Commander.
Oh, right.
That's gonna be pretty good, I think.
So I want to. It's almost to protect it. Now you could buy a nice acrylic and put it in it, and now it's safe. So I could let you look at it. We could pass it around, and you don't have to worry. Now if you drop it, the bubble might crack. So then that's a problem. But it's more protected. So I like. So I do have graded stuff. I don't have a lot of graded stuff, but I mean, there's some people who grade everything, just like with comics. But I mean, if you have a $10,000 comic and you want to show it off, do you want somebody just grabbing it and they squeeze too hard or they put a ding in the spine? Then it's less valuable.
How do you look at it?
When you buy a reader copy. Yeah, that's what people do.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you could have a. Oh yeah. Marvel has a membership where you can read all their books free. Not free, but maybe $50 a year or something. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you could still read them.
You just don't touch that.
But see, I don't like reading things on my phone digitally.
I don't really either.
That's boring.
It is.
Like I just want to hold it.
I like a tangible item.
So I think like physical media is coming back. There's like this big resurgence, especially with VHS and vinyl. Like it's happening. I mean, you can buy
VHS though. Was
No. So I forget what movie it was. Just got released in VHS.
like a brand new
Yeah.
movie?
Mm-hmm. But I mean, a lot of the horror stuff, they'll do a VHS release version of it. But I mean, I'm selling VHS like crazy.
Really?
And you can buy a VHS player at Walmart now.
What?
Mm-hmm. Plus, you can buy record players. I just bought a vinyl soundtrack of G.I. Joe. Right?
Today I got my crash course from Ryan at Toy Federation. What I learned is that I don't need to know everything about toys. What I do know is the stuff that brings me nostalgia, and what I like about this channel is that even though I don't know anything, I'm learning. And I get to learn about the toy collectors and why they're doing what they're doing. And it's really cool. So, like, subscribe, leave a comment, be kind. Oh, my sister said it would be cool if that when he was and I told her that you don't Zoom, but same kind of concept. If someone's talking about a specific item, if you could get really close to that specific item.